Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz with 1 of a 9. Today I am reviewing the Tier 5 Soviet heavy tank, the KV-1. The KV-1 has 770 hit points. The whole armor is 75mm at the front, 75 at the sides, and it goes down to 70mm at the rear. The turret armor is 110mm at the front, 110 at the sides, and 110 at the rear. The tank weighs 49.64 tons, has a 500 horsepower engine, as well as a 34 km/h top speed limit. The track traverse is 20 degrees a second, and the turret traverse is also 20 degrees a second. This 85mm gun fires 7 rounds a minute. The penetration on its standard rounds is 120, and the premium APCR brings that penetration up to 161mm. The high explosive penetration is a lowly 43mm. The damage of its AP and APCR rounds is 200, and HE brings that damage up to 300, which is kind of absurd. It's a 100 damage increase. Comparatively, the T-29, which has a 105mm gun, only goes from 310 to 400. That's only 90, and this is Tier 5, and that's Tier 7. But that is on the wayside. This tank has 0.42 dispersion and a 2.9 second aim time, so typical Russian accuracy. And to top it all off, the tank has a 220 meter view range. If you look down below, you can see that my consumable loadout is multi-purpose restoration pack, automatic fire extinguisher, and repair kit. My provisional loadout on this tank is improved fuel, condensed milk, and extra combat rations. And my ammunition loadout is 66 rounds of the standard armor piercing, 5 rounds of the premium APCR, as well as 5 rounds of high explosive. So for my equipment, I use a gun rammer, vents, and a toolbox because I do a lot of side scraping with this tank. So that's enough talking about the KV-1 in the garage. Let's take a look at it in some gameplay. Well folks, here we are on Copperfield. It's been forever since I played this map because I've been mostly playing Tier 7 tanks. And I'm heading up the hill. Now this game came down to a nail-biting conclusion. So I'm heading up the hill. This is going to take a while because, KV-1, not a very fast tank. So, yep, up I go. I'll be there eventually. And then out in front of me pokes a DW2. And that's going to be the easiest damage of my life. Mostly because he can't do anything to me, and he's just sitting there. So that's 400 free damage, which I'm not complaining about. Now, free damage against the A20 as well. And now here's where I made a mistake. I was going for the tracking shot, and he pulled back just as I fired. I should have just gone for the damage, because I would have done an extra 200 this game. And yeah, I threaded a shot through there. This Russian accuracy really isn't doing much. I'll give you a little spoiler. I hit every shot I fired this game, so it was either I was playing really well or RNGesus was on my side. There we go, one more kill. Well, the first kill of many kills. I'm just going to be a little bit of a kill stealer here. And I'm going to kill the A20. And there goes our second loss. Unfortunately, the Leopard got the M4 before I could get to him. Oh well, there we go, bounced a shot from long range. Just shows you what the armor of this thing is like. So, off I go. Now we are trying to chase him down. So I start driving down here, and yeah, heavy tank chasing mediums, not a very good prospect, but I then see they're over there, so I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna go cap, force their hand. These two, the Ram 2 and the Chi-Nu, did work. They very nearly won this game for their team. And I'll explain why in a second. So let's see, I'm just looking for shots if I have any. And then I spot the Chinoo moving across. And I take a free shot. Words of advice, people. There's a little dip on the other side that you can hide in, and people can't shoot you. So if you're going to drive across there, use that little dip. And unfortunately, I'm not getting a second shot like I hoped I was. Now the Panzer III is still alive at this time. And their Chinoo just killed our Leopard. Now I managed to thread a shot through, do a decent amount of damage, and then our M3 Lee takes him out. Now, I'm going after the Chinoo. I can trade with you all day. I'm going to do an extra 40-50 damage more than you are. So. And then, let's see. Now, there's a bit of a lull in the battle while we just sit here and try and eventually win. But their Ram 2 and Chinoo completely screwed over our Ram 2. And he's going to... There he goes. So now I'm shooting at the Ram 2. The M3 Lee's trying to hide behind me. Yeah, Ram 2 keeps shooting me. And I decided, okay, I'm just going to move in. Because I know I can kill this guy. Both of them, because they're on such low health. The Ram 2 is a... Well, he would have been a one-shot had I gotten a decent roll. But he's a two-shot because I rolled low for about 160. Which was a pain, but oh well. What can you do? So I'm driving forward now. And their Chinoo just killed our M3 Lee. Here I get a bit unlucky. And I bounced it. That is the second of 3 shots that I hit that bounced. And the Chinoo just drives out sideways on in front of a loaded KV-1. You only do that if you want to die. So right now I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to force his hand. He's got the lowest health. We've got plenty of time. I'm just going to go drive into the cap circle and force him to come find me. Because if he doesn't want to fight, that's perfectly fine by me. I will take the win by capping. And there's the third of 3 shots that I bounced. And wait for it. It's just going to be a little bit. Nope, don't fire yet. Don't fire. And then he makes a fatal mistake. Gets himself stuck on that wall. And that's a game over and a win for my team. That was very nearly a Kolobanov's medal. Unfortunately, it was not. Okay, so 2.3k damage, 957 base experience, 4 kills. That is a decent game. So, that's it. The Ram 2 and the Chinoo, I gotta hand it to them. They played well. It's just they got a bit unlucky. See, 18 shots fired, 18 hits, 15 pens. Russian accuracy for you. The larger the number, the better the accuracy. Yeah, did good Top Gun. Yeah. Did a lot of damage to most tanks. Top Gun, Sniper. Okay, so here we are on Dead Rail. This is a tier 6 match, so I'm not top tier. And I did not look at the enemy's team lists or the markers at the top of the screen before I started driving this way. What I did not realize is the enemy team had 5 heavy tanks. 3 of them tier 6 and 2 tier 5s. Now I may be able to deal with one of the tier 5s on my own and come out reasonably well, but I ain't gonna deal with 5 heavy tanks. So, I mean, I could probably win a fight against a tier 6 heavy tank if I was playing really well at the time. But, oh well. Now that KV-1S is quite the idiot. I would have skipped this part, but something happened that was quite funny. Just watch the chat. And as I'm slowly driving, getting a boost from the Leopard, going along at a solid 35 kilometers an hour, and there goes the KV-1S, who obviously does not understand spotting mechanics. And the fact that his tank is blind like a bat. Now here I made a really stupid error. I should never have driven up here and tried to sneak a shot in, because then I took a whole bunch of hits. Now had I not done that, I would have had more health, and I might actually have been able to survive this game. The KV-1S. Yeah, he needs to learn how the spotting mechanics work. And there it goes. The KV-1S is dead. Now, I wait for the Panzer III-4 to pull back. Instead of blocking him, I drive forward. Take the shot. Track him as well. KV-1S again. Now, I did not notice that when I was actually playing this game. But, yeah. This guy really is an idiot. Okay. Now, we both bounced off each other, me and the KV-1S. Now, I'm kind of hoping that we can kill this Crusader. Unfortunately, I low-rolled and left him on 11 health. No, 17. The Leopard was on 11. But our Panzer III-4 killed him. Now I immediately start turning my gun around. He bounces. Oh my god, there goes the Russian accuracy. I completely missed, and I just said, okay, we need to win this fight if we want to have a chance at winning this game. So I load the premium. And wait for it. Now the KV-1S just fired. I'm going to drive out over that little bump. Crappy gun depression on the KV-1S. Unfortunately, I took a hit, but I'm hoping the Panzer III-4 can kill him. And he did, but I think the Panzer III-4 took a shot. And off I drive. I drive around this corner. And apparently some heavy tanks think they're tank destroyers, as apparently this M6 at the back of the map figures. Because, wait for it, I just got spotted. That was the M6, and I got killed by him. Well, that's all for now, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the battlefield.